Good evening. I apologize, we're starting a little bit late here. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 6:05 or so. We're going to start with an invocation by Pastor Miller, and we're going to follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Button. So if you please stand.
All right, let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer this evening, and we just want to thank you for your goodness to us. We want to thank you for blessing our city as you have. We want to thank you for blessing our nation. Father, I just pray that our hearts, as we go into this fall season and into a time of Thanksgiving, that we would reflect upon all of the goodness that we have experienced and all of the joys that we have living in this country. Lord, I pray that you would be with those that are hurting. We pray that you would wrap your arms around them and strengthen them. Father, for those who have lost loved ones. Father, for our city, we pray for those who serve. We ask that you would lift them up. Father, we pray that you would bless the meeting tonight, give wisdom, give guidance, give direction as only you can. In Jesus' name we ask it. Amen.
The city attorney we need the roll call first. Yep.
Ambrose,
Here, sorry.
Button,
Here.
Kale,
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, now we'll have the city attorney report out from closed session.
Yes, council convened in closed session, discussed the item of labor negotiations. It received information, provided direction, and there's no reportable action.
Subsequent need items.
Mayor, there are none.
Okay. Then we're going to go to approval of the agenda, and I would like to amend the agenda. We have Ebony Socialites on as a first ceremonial matter, but I'd like to push them back to the end of the meeting because they're waiting for a few more folks to show up. So we'll stick them in someplace else towards the end of the meeting, right? I don't have to say exactly where.
No.
Okay, all right,
Thank you, Mayor.
all right.
Motion to approve as amended.
Second.
Motion by Ambrose, second by Kale. And for the record, I'd like to state that Councilmember Raymond is now here. Kale,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Raymond,
Abstain.
Button,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so our first recognition this evening is for Mike Mendez of the 4th of July Committee. And if he would come up along with the committee members that are present, I will come down with the proclamation. Whatever we call it here.
Microphone. Microphone.
Okay, so today, Ruby, we're going to do Mike Mendez first. Oh, you're on the committee? Well, see, now I was told there was only 3 people on the committee here, so thanks. Anyway, Mike, the committee and the city would like to thank you for your efforts that you've done for the Atwater 4th of July Committee. It's really an integral part of what we do on the 4th of July, and I'm going to let the committee president actually say a few kind words about you.
Thanks, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure. It's an honor to be able to recognize Mike Mendez tonight. Mike is an integral part, or has been an integral part, of the Atwater 4th of July Committee, and his contributions to the whole festive atmosphere of that day. Anybody that's been to the 4th of July here in Atwater knows it's the premier event every year. And, we have a small core outfit of volunteers, some of which are here with us tonight. And the thing is that, it's no one individual. It's a very, very tight group and very, very well organized. And we work together really, really well. It's an all-year thing, and it's one of those things that, it wouldn't come together without like Mike. Mike has been the guy that has taken care of all of those vendors that you see out in Ralston Park. When you see where they're positioned and they got them all set up, all of those health permits through the county, all of the things, all of the technical things that have to be done, this is the guy that has been responsible for doing it. And without him doing that, it's been, it's impossible to imagine how it's not going to, happen out there. The parade, that's not to take away from the parade and all the other things that go on, but Mike has been just a true inspiration to all of us to work a little bit harder and make sure everything works. And we're just absolutely going to miss him. Mike is going October 3rd now, and he'll be on his way to Texas. And that's where he's going to call home now, him and his family. And we're truly, truly going to miss him, and this community is going to miss his hard work. And it gives us great pleasure to be able to stand up here tonight and recognize Mike and the contributions that he has made to this city and how much it's going to really be something that we're going to miss. So on behalf of at least the 4th of July Committee, we want to thank you, Mike, for your contributions and your hard work. And when I came to this committee back in 2015, I never imagined that this was going to be the committee, of such hard workers and dedicated people. And you are truly, my friend, one of the very, very best. And we're going to miss you. Thank you so much.
So on behalf of the city of Atwater, we want to thank you for your contributions to our community, and best of luck in your new adventures.
Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, I'll just say a few words. I just want to say it's kind of been my honor to be a part of this. Yeah, it's a ton of work, but it is so satisfying to see the community come together on that day. It's like everything that's right in the world still comes together on the 4th of July in Atwater, and it's just amazing. I've been blessed to be a part of it. And I also want to say that, yeah, it's been a lot of work. There's a handful of people who do it every year. And they're going to need more help now than ever. So anybody out there in the community who wants to get involved, Atwater4thofjuly.com has our contact info. Reach out to these guys. They're going to need your help. So thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on here. We have presentation supposedly by District Supervisor Darren McDaniel, but I see his stand-in Mark Hendrickson is here tonight. And I know Mark can fill in for just about anything, so.
Mr. Mayor, I will certainly do my best, and will be pinch hitting for the supervisors tonight, who certainly sends his regards and his regrets for not being here. So, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, again, good evening. Mark Hendrickson, Assistant County Executive Officer. Again, Supervisor McDaniel wishes he could be here, but certainly wishes to pass along a warm hello to each of you. He also asked that tonight I provide you with just a very brief update on the progress being made on the Atwater-Merced Expressway project. As he and the executive team just received an update from our Public Works organization just last week. As this council may know, we've had our fair share of challenges going through the NEPA process, working with EP on this project. And The primary concern, by the way, as you may recall, is clearing EPA's air quality conformity process, which is to say that as a part of their review of our project, they are citing some exceptional events like wildfires, which have negatively impacted some of our numbers that are going through that process. So as a part of that, we've submitted a memo not too long ago to EPA proposing a new methodology and eliminating those exceptional events, again, highlighting the wildfires, which did, again, affect our air quality numbers in a negative way. They have responded, and although they did not reject our methodology outright, they have asked us to substantiate our reasoning. Now, the feeling with our consultants is that since the EPA did not reject our methodology and took time to provide some comments and return to us, that they seem to be very open to finding a solid path forward. So we just believe that we have to make it easy for them. So at this point, our team, our Public Works team, is working to shave whatever time that they can off of the schedule so as to advance this project, which we believe is critical to economic development, to safety, and to transportation in our community. In that regard, just a handful of tentative dates, again, assuming that we can work through some of these processes with the federal government. We anticipate environmental approval in winter of 2024. We anticipate, in a perfect world, right-of-way clearance in winter of 2025. Start of construction, we hope to commence in summer of 2026, and end of construction in winter of 2028. So again, those are, at this point in time, that's the tentative schedule based upon what we know today. I would also just like to make mention that we certainly do appreciate the support of your team, who has been instrumental in collaboration with the county on this project, and we'll certainly be very pleased to provide updates to this council in the days and months ahead as, again, we work through some of these processes, in particular with the federal government. So at this point, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have, albeit in just a very brief presentation. And again, I'd be remiss if I didn't say one more time that on behalf of the supervisor, we certainly appreciate the opportunity to make some brief remarks to you tonight. So, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. Does any council members have questions for Mark? Well, it's good that you actually have some positive news on the AME.
Yes, sir.
And like you said, they didn't reject your methodology, so that's a good step in the right direction.
Step by step.
Step by
Something
step.
you started working on during your days on the
A
board.
long time
So
ago.
we're-
Yes, that was a
hopefully this will
long
be
time
done in our
ago.
lifetime and get this project online, which will be of great benefit to this community. Mr. Mayor, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, Mark. Okay, now we're on to the consent calendar.
Background information has been provided on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine. All items under the consent calendar are normally approved by one motion. If discussion is requested on any item, that item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
Okay, I'm now going to open public comment regarding consent calendar. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak regarding any item on the consent calendar? If so, please come forward now. Okay, so no one come forward. I'm going to close public comment. Are there any items on the consent calendar that the council would like to remove for separate discussion and possible action? Hearing none, would any council member like to make a motion regarding the consent calendar?
So moved. To approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion by Kale, second by Raymond. Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Button?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion pass.
Okay, our first, our next item of reports from staff is item number 7, to authorize and approve a cooperative purchase agreement with High Tech Emergency Vehicle Service for the purchase of a Type 6 fire engine. And Chief Ayuso will be giving the staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Appreciate the opportunity to address you tonight. The item before you is a really exciting item. It is a cooperative purchase agreement with High Tech Emergency Services for a Type 6 fire engine. A little review on that or background. A Type 6 fire engine, for those that are unaware, is a 5,500 size chassis with a smaller buildup than your traditional larger Type 1 fire engines. And how it would benefit the city of Atwater is it provides a smaller piece of equipment to respond to medical aids, public assist, vegetation fires, and be cross-staffed with Truck 42 at Station 42 would be the plan. Not only is it beneficial here in the city, but it is also a revenue builder. These apparatus have become a hot item when going out of county on large incidents, supporting the state mission through ABH agreement, which is approved through the city of Atwater every 3 years, and it does gain about $2,000 a day on a 24-hour shift of revenue for the city. One thing that is huge that I know has been in discussions for a long period of time is increasing our staffing levels, and as you can see behind us, we have several on duty today that are here, and you can see that we are able to support that at this point. So cross-staffing it with the truck would be beneficial. The initial budgeted amount was approved in June for $350,000. However, due to issues that both myself and Chief Salvador have run into with the equipment is increased pricing due to supply chain issues, which is continuously an issue, and now we're hitting another hiccup or roadblock with some of the auto worker strikes that are coming in. So we were requesting an additional $50,000. It would be not a budget amendment, but a budget transfer from the improvements to Station 41 in order to be able to move forward with the Type 6. We did go through some due diligence and looking at other proposals and other options with other manufacturers, and unfortunately, due to different builds, these manufacturers seem to be strict to what they build, and they want to sell it as is, which the way that those are built may work for other departments, such as Merced County Fire is a phenomenal piece of equipment that responds out of Santa Anela. However, the way we're going to respond to our equipment to medical aids and public assist veg fires here in the city, it isn't quite as beneficial. If you look up at the screen, this is an idea. We are looking at going with a crew cab chassis. But the buildup you can see is a much smaller version of, like I said, your traditional Type 1s. If you want to scroll through, there are a few different pictures. This was one that High Tech did for Butte County Fire. It fits all the needs that we have here in the city of Atwater. And High Tech is also a manufacturer we deal with a lot of times for servicing, and we have dealt with for purchase of apparatus in the past. And local vendor is kind of a benefit to us as well as far as getting services done in a timely fashion. I will note this is going to be about an 18 to 24 month build, so we are looking at probably 2 years before we even see the equipment and get it upfitted to put in service should we not hit any roadblocks with chassis issues. So rather than sitting on it, like I said, we did reach out and try to get some different proposals, but trying to modify those builds was difficult. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any council members have questions for Bobby? Okay. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item? Alrighty. Don't see anybody coming forward, so I'm going to close public comment now. Anybody like to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Raymond, second by Ambrose. Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Button?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion pass.
Okay. Ruby? There. Are you waiting for Sylvia? Okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, so we're going to go back to recognition today for the Ebony Socialites and for recognizing them for their 52 years of service to the city of Atwater. So I will come down and grab a microphone this time. Got it. I checked them out.
When we go up there with it, we can have it to him. Thank you.
Well, I want to welcome you all here tonight. And we want to, as I mentioned, for Ebony Socialites for their 52 years of service to the city of Atwater regarding lifelong education, striving for excellence, health awareness, youth outreach, and providing high-quality social events for the community. And one of the reasons why this came to the fore right now, it's at 52 years instead of 50, was the recent passing of Fannie Mitchell. We have with us here today Ruby Fagan, which is Fannie's daughter and the president of Ebony Socialites currently. But Fannie was the founder, I suppose you'd say, of Ebony Socialites. And so we wanted to recognize her for everything that she did for the community and for this organization. And to still be going after 52 years, I mean, that's always a very good milestone. So I'm going to give you that certificate. And we have flowers. Hopefully you're not allergic to flowers, but somebody can take those there. You want to hold the flower? There we go. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to let you speak a little bit about your mom and what she did for this community.
Hey, good evening. It's an honor and a pleasure to be able to speak today on behalf of my mother, on behalf of the family, the Fannie Mitchell and her family, and the Ebony Socialites. And so I'm going to just read a little bit about her so that you can get familiar with kind of who she was, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the Ebony Socialites and how she was the founder and what she's and the club has done over the last 52 years. Okay, Fannie Mitchell, she was born December 31st, 1926 in Tunnel Springs, Alabama, to the parentage of Will P. Randleson and Brownie Randleson. She was the 14th of 14 children. Fannie met her husband, Ruber Mitchell, who was serving in the Air Force at Eglin Air Force Base in Pensacola, Florida. They were married in Fayetteville, North Carolina in 1948 and remained married for almost 52 years until Ruber's death on November 15th in 2000. In this union of marriage, they had 5 girls: Patricia, Brownie, Wanda, Ruby, and Karen. Fannie was also blessed to raise a foster son, James Chandler, for 7 years. Ruber was transferred to Castle Air Force Base, California in 1958, where Fannie resided for 65 years. Fannie was a successful wife, mother, and investor. While raising her children, she started working at Castle Air Force Base in food services. Upon leaving Castle Air Force Base, she went to Foster Farms in Livingston, California for 10 years. After many years of working, she and her husband decided to retire and invest in real estate, purchasing homes in California, Arizona, and bringing blessings to so many families. Fannie enjoyed spending time with family, especially being Gigi, cooking and playing bingo and traveling. Her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren could not wait to go to her house on the holidays so they could eat her macaroni cheese, yams, and sweet potato pies. Fannie was a member of the Mount Olive Baptist Church. She joined there on April 14th, 1996. She served in the mission. She was in the 75 Plus Club, and she was just active and involved in just about everything the church had going. But in 1971, Fannie founded the Ebony Socialites of Atwater. Fannie got a group of ladies together on a Sunday afternoon in her home with a mission to get African American women involved in a community to help with charities at the time, sickle cell anemia, and to provide scholarships for African American students. And after 52 years, the Ebony Socialites of Atwater are now able to offer scholarships annually and to help so many other charities in the community. And on behalf of the Ebony Socialites, we just thank you for all of your support over these last 52 years. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to be here and have done as well as we have for these last 52 years. Your support with all of our functions that we have, the 4th of July with our water and soda. We have, we're having our seafood boil that is coming up soon for all the ones who have purchased tickets for that. We have our annual Black and White Ball every year, which is the first Saturday in December. So we really try to do a lot in the community to help for scholarships and other charities. And on behalf of the Ebony Socialites, we just like to thank you for allowing and giving her the honor this afternoon and recognizing her and the Ebony Socialites for all their hard work these last 52 years. And we appreciate all of you and we thank you. I'm going to introduce some of our members. We have one of our chartered members who has been here with them from the beginning, Ernestine Portis. We have Pat Mims, who is Fannie Mitchell's oldest daughter. She is our financial secretary. We have Lula Powell, who is on our calling committee and parliamentarian. We have Barbara Wilhoit, who is our corresponding secretary. We have Eula Toka, who's our recording secretary, and we have Millie Vassell, who is hospitality and thinks about everybody's birthday and send flowers to everybody in the Ebony Social Life. So thank you, and we just really appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you very much. We really appreciate that you're here today. All right, so our next item is city manager updates.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's update is going to be on our Bellevue realignment and reconstruction project. This is a project that Council's been pushing for several years, and about 24 months ago, the city, along with the county, was able to apply for funding for the PSR&E for the project. The project is intended to reconstruct the roadway to reconnect North Outwater along to 99, and that's going to help alleviate some of the congestion that we currently see at the Applegate overcrossing. As part of this year's budget, the council approved and allocated funding necessary for the environmental for this project, which allowed our consultant, Mark Thomas. He began the drafting of the PSR&E and completed that ahead of schedule, which allowed the city to again apply for funding through MCAG Regional Measure V funds. That, if awarded, that $1.2 million would allow the advancement of this project to move forward even quicker, 1 to 2 years ahead of schedule. So that's promising and encouraging. Not quick enough for a lot, but at least it's moving in the right direction. Some updates. Last week, the mayor, myself, and Councilmember Kale attended the annual conference in Cal Cities, Sacramento, where we had attended concurrent different sessions. They have a lot of informational, and so by each of us attending, we can join and attend different sessions and get some different information out of these sessions. Some of the higher level sessions that we enjoyed were executive level recruitment, economic retail recruitment. At that, we were able to meet with some different consultants and get some leakage reports on businesses and how we can recruit for some retail and where our strong suits are and where some of the things that we can pursue, as well as building a culture of accountability in our police department. We also attended general sessions, and some of those general sessions were, I don't know if you've ever heard Brandon Fleming's story, but his story was very motivational, and If you ever have a chance to listen to that, I think that was a great one. Another one was Agora Hills has podcasts, and they're streamed on YouTube. It kind of tells it gives you an idea of general plan, not necessarily just for their city, but how different things like general plan works and how they do the updates on that. So if you have an opportunity, check that out as well. Finance has some updates. If you look on our website, our new finance director has updated that, and at the end of the finance page, she has a breakdown of the city's sales tax, the 8.75%, and how it's broken into different percentages and where that money or that percent goes to, and that's good information that I think the community would like to see. A reminder as well, our shutoffs we've been talking about for many months. That's going to happen in October. So again, if you need to and haven't yet done so, reach out to the finance department if you need to set up a payment arrangements for that. Tonight I have two different things. Chief Salvador is going to introduce two of our new police recruits. We are happy to bring them on board, and they'll be attending the academy, and so I'll let him introduce that, and then I have an introduction from Fire Soakaway.
Thank you, Lori. I'd like to introduce our two newest members of our team. They're both recruits, and we're going to send these two people to the academy. It's the first for Atwater in quite some time. But with the challenges that we've had in recruitment and retention, we think these guys are great bets. So I want to first introduce David Rivera. He's sitting in the back next to Officer Freiberg. David's a Delhi resident, Buhack Colony High School graduate. He finished his Level 2 Reserve Academy at Merced College. Got a daughter. She's not here, is she, Dave? Oh, okay. She got a daughter. We'll have her pin him in a couple of months. Family man. He's also choosing law enforcement over being a chef and a DJ. So he's going from one form of entertainment to the other. Our next candidate is kind of special to us also. He's going to be our first Asian police officer in the city of Atwater since I've been the chief. His name's Tua Vang. He's a Merced resident. Merced High School grad. He's got an AA from Merced College, and he's an outdoors guy. He likes fishing and hiking, and they're going to go off October 9th to the Fresno Police Academy to start a 6-month journey, and we hope to swear them in and graduate with a badge pinning in April. So we wish them very, very good luck. They've been tooling around the police department here for about 6 weeks, trying to get most of the training out of the way before we send them to the academy so they do a better job. And we're really, really excited, and I want to wish them good luck and welcome to our team.
So now we have 6 new firefighters joining us as well, and Chief Ayuso is going to introduce, I think we have 3 of them here tonight with us.
Thank you, Lori. Pleasure to be here this evening. This is a monumental moment for the city of Atwater and the fire department, so I really wanted to express our appreciation to the council, the community, the rest of staff for the support that we received. On June 12th, you approved unanimously approved a 3-year cooperative agreement with CAL FIRE, which included the addition of 2 fire captains, 6 firefighters, and 1 office technician. And I'm proud to say that those individuals are starting. So the 6 firefighters went through a 1-week orientation last week. Captain Anderson put together. We went through various skills, including live fire at Castle Training Center, different administrative meetings. Mayor was able to be present at one, a battalion meeting we had, and area familiarization, equipment familiarization. The big highlight is that this added the staffing that we needed to meet that 3.0 standard that we've been talking about. Tonight, we brought both pieces of equipment. This is what you guys have on duty today in the city of Atwater. There's 7 on duty, and we do have 4 at Station 41, 3 at Station 42 today, and that's because we didn't have any vacation, which is awesome. And I can honestly say that I'm proud. Those 3 individuals that we have here tonight, of the 6, Michael Kitty. Well, put your hand up. Thanks, buddy. Chris Davis, and those are not small babies in his arms. Those are his real arms. And Rick Heilman. Our office technician was offered a position and starts Monday, so that's exciting as well. It was our top candidate, worked out very well. And I would like to note as well that today, leaving Station 41, came up Broadway to Castle Street and came across a vehicle accident. Fitting that I only needed 1 engine. So it does change, and I do express that we do appreciate your support and the community's support in passing a tax measure which made this possible. Couldn't be better fitting to introduce 2 officers as well. As me and Chief Salvador like to do things as a team. So thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Lori. Okay, now we're on public comments from the public.
At this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on the agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on an item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and or placed on a future agenda. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Under the Brown Act, members of the public must address the city council as the legislative body of the city, not to other members of the public or the staff. So I'm now going to open public comment. Are there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor, there are not.
Okay. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak? If so, please come to the podium now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address you guys today on a deeply personal matter that's not only affected my life, but also my sense of justice and fairness as a dedicated police officer who serve this community. My name is Donald Wisdom III, and get a little hard to get through this. Hopefully I can get it in the 3 minutes. I stand before you as a representative of the countless officers who have faced the unexpected and life-altering consequences of our duty. On a fateful day while responding to fellow officers, I found myself involved in a serious vehicle collision. It was a moment that changed my life forever. The physical and emotional trauma that has been challenging, but what has been even more difficult to bear is the support and understanding that I've encountered since that day. The injuries I sustained in the line of duty have been deemed permanent, making it impossible for me to meet the requirements and return to work as a police officer. The city filed an IDR on my behalf and retired me on March 1st of this year, or so I thought. 2 months later, I found out I'm still employed, which I'm still a little confused because I have an affidavit of separation sent to DOJ here from the Chief of Police and a letter of permanent separation from CalPERS employment from CalPERS. Nevertheless, I'm told I'm still employed. I'm told that I'm still an employee of the city. Regardless, my injuries are forcing me to retire from a career I held dear, one that I've dedicated my life to. But what has been even more disheartening is the city's response or lack thereof. I was given modified work restrictions and thought I'd be given reasonable work accommodations that would allow me to continue serving in a capacity that respected my limitations. Regrettably, these requests were denied, and I was not permitted to remain employed on light duty. Furthermore, I still require surgery to address injuries sustained while protecting this community. Yet, I was denied temporary disability benefits going on 5 months now, leaving me in a vulnerable and precarious position. The city's actions have left me feeling severed like my torn tendons from the support and care that I've always believed would be there when officers like me needed it the most. In my case, the negligence of the city manager, Lori Waterman, and 2 former HR managers, Gina Del Real and Michelle Joyner, has left me scrounging, borrowing, pleading with friends and family to keep food on my table and a roof over my family's head. The city has still yet to address Labor Code sections 4850.3 and 4850.4, which could have continued to providing a living for my family during this extremely financially hard time. I urge you, esteemed members of the council, to consider the profound impact your decisions can have on the lives of those who protect and have dedicated themselves to serving our community. We are not disposable. We should not be cast aside when we need help the most. I implore you to review and consider the policies that have led to my situation and that may affect others in the future. In doing so, we can ensure that our community remains a place where those who serve and protect are treated with respect, dignity, and the support they deserve, even when faced with unexpected life-changing challenges that our duty sometimes brings. One of those policies that I would like to address specifically is the determination of discipline.
Don, how much more do you got?
I could stop now if you'd like. Yeah. I just 2 seconds to read a clip on who has the determination.
Just go ahead and finish up then.
Okay, one of the policies is the determination of retirement in our city is solely held in the city manager's hands. It is not held by CalPERS. This is the only city within a 50-mile radius that the city manager has sole control over who gets to medically retire and not. The rest of it is done by the city council. But thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, thank you for letting us know that. People up here are taking notes. Is there anybody? Oh, Kristan.
Good evening, Mayor Nelson and City Council. Kristan Santos here representing the office of Congressman John Duarte. First off, congratulations to our new recruits and our new firefighters behind me. Our District Director, Sam Samra, would like to extend a sincere thank you for inviting our office to take part in Atwater's National Day of Remembrance ceremony this past September 11th. 9/11 is a time to remember the service and sacrifice of so many Americans, but especially our first responders. And our office was also honored to be a part of the dedication ceremonies for the Corporal Ranil Singh Memorial Highway on Highway 33 and the Captain Paul Vincent Rodendaro Memorial Highway on Highway 140. Also, congratulations to Sophia Lamelli, our new Miss Atwater 2023. Our office was also honored to be a part of that ceremony at the beautiful new facility at Juniper Elementary and to listen to her speak on her patriotism and her desire to serve her nation. Coming up on the Transportation Infrastructure Committee this Thursday, September 28th, the Congressman will be participating in a subcommittee on water resources and environment hearing on clean water infrastructure financing, with a discussion on state and local perspectives and recent developments. The Congressman will be speaking with water resource stakeholders from across the country, and he looks forward to the opportunity to advocate for federal water policy that promotes water abundance for Valley farmers and Valley families. While we have an ongoing discussion on appropriations and we're going to continue to advocate for the priorities of working families in our district, we do have a number of bills concerning Veterans Affairs that are coming up for votes in the House. The Congressman is going to be in support of the H.R. 3981 Veterans Education Oversight Expansion Act. Also, H.R. 1530, that's a Veterans Benefits Improvement Act. It would modify procedures allowing for transparency for the VA disability process, create an internship for law students on the Board of Veterans Appeals, increase the number of judges to make claims go through faster, and also examine ways to improve pay for disability reimbursements for travel and the function of veteran services officers. We're also going to be supporting a bill, S-112, to amend the United States Code to strengthen benefits for children of Korean War and Vietnam veterans who were born with birth defects. We'd also like to extend a sincere thank you to the Castle Veterans Organization for helping us with our Atwater Town Hall. We had an overflow crowd of 150 people, heard a variety of perspectives from many different constituents here in Atwater and Greater Merced County, and we look forward to setting up more town halls here in Merced County. And a sincere thank you to Atwater High School for letting us host our Military Academy Information Night there. We actually had 18 prospective Academy nominees and their families come to the library at Atwater High and have an incredible discussion with representatives from all the academies, Annapolis, West Point, the Coast Guard Air Force Academy. And we look forward to nominating some of our best and brightest young men and women from Atwater and all over the district to our academies to serve our nation. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Kelly Wisdom. I'm the wife of Officer Donald Wisdom of the Atwater Police Department. I stand here on behalf of my husband and the families and wives that face the tough challenge of having a police officer as a spouse. It is one of the toughest challenges I've ever faced as a woman. Sending my husband out into the streets nightly to serve and protect our community, I've spent tireless hours worrying and waiting. As stated previously, on a fateful day 3 years ago, my husband was injured in a vehicle collision while on duty. In addition to my husband's injuries and mental state, the worry and weight that I have endured since then has been nothing short of agonizing. I watched and aided my husband as he dealt with his injuries, not only physically but mentally as well. After surgery that was supposed to correct the injury he sustained in the accident and several months off, my husband returned to his duties as a servant of this community to be welcomed back with not open arms and we're glad to have you back, but with punitive actions and reprimand for the accident. another blow to his mental state that had already been declining. I might add, there were and are several officers that were involved in vehicle collisions where no punitive action was taken. Others were merely given a slap on the wrist, another blow to my husband's declining mental health and lack of support from his department. Shortly after returning to work, he found that his injuries were still prevalent and that another surgery was needed. At this time, my husband contacted the HR department. Gina Del Real was still the HR manager, at which time my husband was led into the idea of industrial retirement. We pressed forward as it seemed to be the only option left, and this decision did not come lightly. Since then, the actions of the HR department and the lack of interaction from the police department has left my husband questionably retired, still employed, injured, and not being paid from an accident that occurred while on duty serving this community. The amount of confusion, the lack of integrity and candor of those who hold the badge that are involved in this, and the lack of support that my husband has received during this process has been nothing short of despicable. I ask that the City Council please review the actions or lack of actions that led my family and my husband to this place and time. And please help rectify our situation and the situations of any other officer or public servant that would ever have to go through a horrible situation like this. My husband is not disposable. He is not just a statistic. He is a loving father, a devoted husband, and was an extremely dedicated public servant. I ask you to review the terms of the Labor Code 4850.3 and 4850.4 in your consideration and review of what has been brought to light this evening. My husband deserves respect and the support that any officer or employee of the city should receive. I thank you for your time and I appreciate your effort.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Adam Reed. I am the Vice President of Old Town Atwater, and I was just here tonight to let you guys know that if you haven't seen it yet, the tent is up. Fall is in the air, and the ice rink is going to be opening soon. So we just want to let everybody know about that's coming. We're going to operate this year from November 17th through January 7th. We'll open up at 4 p.m. during weekdays and noon on weekends. So, okay, now I'm going to change hats. My name is Adam Reed. I am the Board of Trustees President for Winton Cemetery District, and we are going through some cleaning out at the cemetery, and we're trying to get the word out and let the public know Atwater is a community that we serve, and we're going through, we've got a policy for decorations and flowers and things like that at the cemetery that's geared towards making sure that the cemetery is safe for the public and for our staff. No breakable items, stuff like that, and where you can place them and how you can place them. So we are going to be going through and doing some cleaning to get rid of some items that are out of compliance or that haven't been cared for. So if you guys have any questions, or if the citizens have any questions or residents, they can reach out to the Cemetery District. And if they have any concerns, we are a board that is open to the public. So our meetings are the second Wednesday of the month through the end of the year, and then we'll switch back to the second Monday of the month. And they start at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Hello, I'm Mary Pickford, and I represent the community in terms of clubs and organizations. Can't list them all, actually. Would like to ask for your consideration and involvement in remembering loved ones at Atwater. In the past, we partnered with Heinz Hospice and other groups, and the Friday or the day before the Christmas parade, we had a service where people could honor loved ones, and we're going to be doing that at the Castle CVO. And then we have a Christmas tree in the middle of the parking lot by our new administrative office, and encourage people to bring ornaments that can go on that tree and represent loved ones, and a way to celebrate Christmas honoring those who have passed. Most recently, or some years in the past. We'd like to have you consider joining us again. It has been a lovely event, and it's part of our community culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Mr. Olzak.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and staff. My name is Greg Olzak, President of the Atwater Historical Society, and I just wanted to give you a quick report on our situation down at the Bloss Home. We just had our 50th anniversary celebration this past Saturday night, and it was wonderful to see Mike and Lori in attendance, along with our supervisor, Darren McDaniel. And we definitely appreciate that support. We had a very nice turnout and was enjoyed by, we had beautiful weather, and we were able to not only celebrate the half century that the Historical Society has been serving the community, but also open the Bloss Home for the public to see the improvements and the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years in improving the upstairs bedrooms. And also, I have to commend and thank the city crews under Justin and Renee. They've done an outstanding job of getting the grounds in order, and it just looks wonderful. I can't say that, or I can say that I've never seen it look better, so I would like to thank them. And so we appreciate working with you all and want to continue that in the future. And also I'd like to remind everybody, the public in general, that we have an open house for tours on the first Sunday of every month from 1 to 4. So that's coming up, as it turns out, this next weekend. So I'd like everybody to come down and see what we consider to be the new and improved, but now older and better than Bloss Home. So thank you all very much.
Thank you for that information. Is there anybody else that would like to speak at this time? Seeing nobody else come forward, I'm going to close public comment now. And we're going to move on to City Council reports. We'll start with Mr. Kale.
Okay, best wishes go out to Mike Mendez. Good luck in his future endeavors. I've worked with Mike a number of times, and he is just awesome, and he will truly be missed. Adam beat me to it, but congratulations to Old Town Atwater for starting up the holiday season with the raising of the ice rink. Kent for the 3rd straight year, and will be providing wholesome, exciting, and fun times for our community. Congratulations to the Ebony Socialites for their 52 years of being of great service to our community. I always enjoy you guys' events. And congratulations to the 2 new officers and 9 new firefighters. It's been a long time coming, so it's been good. I'm glad to see you guys are ready there. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Button.
It's meetings like this, you get kind of humbled, being reminded of some of the just amazing people that live in our community and some of the things that they do, some of the things, you might not know their names, but you see the works that they do in this community. Mike is one of those, Mike Mendez. Big congratulations to him. The Ebony Socialites, the legacy that they have created is it's amazing, and it's just a great story. Best of luck to the recruits. It's great to hear that the Measure B is something that our chiefs really are following through with, and I just really want to commend our 2 chiefs on the work they're doing, and so it doesn't go unnoticed. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Raymond.
I have nothing.
Okay, so I would like to echo everybody's comments that were already said. Did I? 1, 2, yeah. I got a script here. I can't. Okay, Mr. Ambrose.
I should go on a filibuster here, but I have nothing for tonight. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, as Tyler said, you know, sitting up here can make you feel humble at times. So, thank you for that. Okay, so I did want to talk a little bit about the Cal Cities conference this past week. They had a great exhibit hall there. I was able to talk to several retail recruiters, and Lori and I are going to be meeting with one of them later this week. I also sat in on a session about executive level recruitment, and I did speak to at least 3 headhunters that had exhibits there. Lori mentioned the Agora Hills podcast. We may not be at that point in Atwater yet, but if you go onto YouTube and look up Good Life Agora Hills, they have been doing podcasts for over a year now where they do deep dives on complex issues. You know, Facebook's great for what it is, but you can't get past the sound bite on Facebook. With this, if you go on there, I watched the first episode from last year, and they were talking about the housing element in the general plan update. And while it doesn't apply specifically to Atwater, the general topic of the housing element and the general plan update does affect Atwater. It affects all of us that live here. So it's a great way, I think it'd be a great way for people to get a better sense of what goes on in the bigger picture of things. So I wanted to promote that. And I did go to the session called The Mayor Said What? Talking about how elected officials should respond on social media and things like that. So, and then also, if you look on the city's Facebook page, it was posted this evening, Teasdale, over here on Atwater Boulevard, the old Davis Cannery. Teasdale is up and running. They are looking at promoting and expanding their plant, and they have a very good video about what they do here in Atwater. And it's good to see a change of management there that actually wants to be involved in the community. So I encourage you to check out the city's Facebook page. And with that, I think I'm done. Meeting adjourned.